Alright, I'm back with another Destiny video, and one that is kind of surprising even to me, because we are finishing up Trials of Osiris this weekend, and it was an actually fun weekend to play Trials. Probably the most fun I've had playing Trials since it came back, or possibly ever, just based on kind of how things went. If I had to sum up what changed this weekend in two words, it would be player population. The reason player population has increased is obviously the fact that Igneous Hammer, the extremely powerful hand cannon, is the 3-win drop slash the failure bounty drop, where you can pretty much do anything, including jump off the edge and eventually unlock that. So everyone who cares about getting powerful weapons, most of the Destiny population, has been hopping into Trials, whether you're suiciding or actually playing, and then this is in addition to the regular Trials folks who would be playing anyway. What this did is create a situation where Trials matches felt actually kind of normal, and that is something that rarely ever happens in Trials. The way I've described Trials in the past is like usually it's like a coin flip your first match as to who you're going to go against. Like you might get like a normal team, you might get triple flawless bros, but after that, like the further you get into your card, whether it's wins or losses, you will just get destroyed by flawless gilded people and gilded and brokens and whatever. Like clearly people that you shouldn't be matching against, but because the player population is so low, these are kind of the people you're stuck with, and that is not fundamentally changed, and nothing they've done to trying to eliminate low card farming or anything like that has really changed that. And like last weekend, I grinded out the bounty on all 3 characters to try and get arms across all of them. Arms are not a particularly attractive drop for new players or players that don't play Trials, so it was the usual sweaty Trials crowd, and it was miserable. Like I think we went on a stretch. I played with a couple different teams, but like I was on a stretch at one point where I had been 5-0'd at least 8 or 9 games in a row, to the point where like we couldn't even take a round off of them, and it was just exhausting. This weekend was the exact opposite, and I've noticed that it's been very similar for a lot of people too. I played kind of 3 different ways this weekend, and all of them were successful. I did a PC LFG with complete randoms with no mic, just to I was doing that really fast because I didn't have a team ready yet, because I didn't know if they were going to disable Trials for some reason, because they always do. Just so I wanted to get the hammer in my loot pool, and we ended up not just doing the bounty, but we got 3 wins, and with total strangers, and it was just we were going against pretty normal teams. Like we won some, we lost some, but it wasn't a ton of stomps in one direction or the other. Then I played with Ares, who from DCP probably, and he's a fantastic PvP player, and he was kind of single carrying me and my buddy, not necessarily to flawless, but we got like I think 5 or 6 wins. I got the chess piece, got all the stuff done, and we were just having very normal matches, and it was a wide range of close ones. We got 0-5 or 5-0 maybe once or twice, but we 5-0'd some other people. And then finally, I did my 3rd character with my buddy and then my other buddy, and we're all somewhat the same skill level, which is not super high. I think they're both better than me, but and this is a team that I played with frequently, and we have struggled to get to 3 wins in the past, so we just assumed we were going for the bounty, but we did get to 3 wins. So all of these different groups, I was able to get to 3 wins, and I got 8 Igneous Hammer drops, 2 from tokens, 6 from actually playing the bounties and the 3-win reward. And my best one is a quick draw moving targets, which is fine. I wanted rapid hit rampage, but I think quick draw moving target is perfectly good for PvP in many ways, so I'm happy with that, and it's in my loot pool now. A lot of kind of factors came together here to show that yeah, Trials maybe can actually be fun with the right amount of players in it to create like actually diverse matches and allow people to get at least the lower tier, win grabs. This is like kind of a perfect storm though, and like it's hard to see it repeating with anything else. Igneous Hammer is clearly the best piece of Trials loot that exists right now, and it's one of the best guns in the game, especially for PvP. The messenger is very good too. We had the 3-win messenger, I think the first week of trials or something, but I would be surprised if there was another time where we could get the player population up this high just to get one gun. And like obviously, everything is going to rotate through 3 wins over the course of the season. And once it's the scholar, or I don't even know if the scholar's still dropping, but or armor or things like that, things that aren't as attractive, player population to go back down, it's going to suck to play again. So I think, it's hard to know what a perfect solution is here. And I have repeatedly tried to suggest some form of matchmaking for trials because I think a huge barrier to entry is not wanting to form a team. And I don't know, we saw the player population can go up even without matchmaking, you can still form a team. But I think it's at least proven the point that a big part of the problem with trials is player population. So that much is very clear at this point, because when you increase that, matches become a lot more normal. People aren't as frustrated, and it's the complete opposite of what I experienced last week with just getting pummeled and pummeled and pummeled, and it broke me last week. I don't think I've ever felt that bad playing trials, and then this week I don't think I've ever felt this good playing trials. But again, finding an exact solution is tough because you cannot have a extremely coveted weapon like Igneous Hammer available every week. So this is going to be kind of a rare scenario. So what you have to do is figure out other ways to get the player population up. And there are many potential, avenues to this, whether you use one or combine a bunch of them. There's the idea that at the very least, you can't essentially fail your card until you get 3 wins. You can get as many losses as you want, but you just keep pressing towards that 3 wins until you finally are able to find people you can win against. I think that was True Vanguard's idea, where there is no failure state for 3 wins. So at least people can, if you're putting the time in and winning 3 games in total, not necessarily in one card, you will get that reward. You might get it a lot slower than everybody else, but you will get it. There is the fact that playing trials and losing is literally the biggest waste of time in the game because nothing drops. Absolutely nothing. Not even end of match blues. There are many suggestions that there should just be random trials drops at the end of matches for wins or losses. Some have suggested the old armor set should be put in as a drop. I think that happened in Destiny 1 where they put in the old armor. Or Trials of the 9 had an armor set that just dropped after a match. I don't know. Regardless, nothing drops after the match. And not tokens don't drop on losses anymore. I think that was a massive overcorrection on Bungie's part for trying to solve this token farming problem with Astral Horizon right when it launched, and they took away tokens from losses, and it is brutal to play an entire match and get nothing, not even a single token. That is not a good state. So trials should be the most rewarding thing you can play, essentially. It should be more rewarding than Crucible. It should be more rewarding than Iron Banner. You should be getting, lots of drops, even if they're not God Rules Trials drops. You should, there should be an increased rate for Frozen Orbit and the Keening, or things like that. Things to encourage people to at least get in the playlist. And that can be a number of things. And yes, the 3-win bounty loot is important. And I think, they need to keep making coveted trials loot to do that. I think Igneous Hammer and 120s are going to end up nerfed at the end of all this. But for now, at least, this is a very coveted thing. But the problem is no one wants to play because they get stomped, and people get stomped because no one wants to play. So it's a cycle that they have to break, and I don't think they have. The only thing they have done to make a step in that direction is to create this 3-win bounty, which was a good idea. And I don't know if I would have still been playing Trials at all if it was mandatory that I got the 3-win, because I was literally at a certain point. People still do this a little bit, but Fallout carried me to 3 wins back when I was just trying to get a summoner or something just a real quick run, because it was the state of Trials was getting 3 wins for a quasi-normal player. I describe my PvP skill level as the kill leader on the losing team. That's about my general Crucible skill level. So take that as you will, but then you go to Trials and you feel like you're on a different planet. You just are not even remotely in the same league as a lot of the players you're matched up against. And there's nothing it's so dispiriting to go into game after game and just see the triple Trials emblem, the 50 flawless ticket tracker, and that is the majority of your matches, it seems, when you go into Trials in a normal weekend. This weekend, it was all over the place. I saw a couple flawless titles, sure, but it was mostly just people who look like me. Like, oh, you have a Warden title. Oh, it's a Gilded Dredgen. Like, and, people are using the meta or whatever. Everyone has Fellwinters. Like, everyone has Steady Hand or something like that. But, like, it was still just normal teams. And, like, we killed some of the teams, and some of the normal teams beat us in anyway. Like, it's... At one point, we matched the same team 3 times in a row, and it was like this 2 out of 3 slugfest that we ended up losing. But so there's clearly still some problems with Trials matchmaking, but player population is the key to all of this. And if Bungie can figure out how to get more players into the mode, how to get them into more normal matches as a result of that, and not just get utterly trashed by the top 0.5% of the PvP population, like Trials can be a very, good mode. And I don't think, if people didn't care about Trials and if people didn't want it to succeed, like everyone would just be totally ignoring it, and it wouldn't be this big controversial thing every week. But it is like the talking point, of the Destiny community for the most part, every single weekend for either a good reason like this weekend or a bad reason like other weekends when it gets disabled or it's just the sweatiest thing ever. Like it's very controversial, but like it is something clearly kind of intrinsic to Destiny that people care about. And I think it should continue to be invested in. So should Iron Banner and the rest of Crucible, but that's another story. And it seems very clear to me that the solution is just attracting more players to the mode. And if Bungie can figure out how to do that in a myriad of ways, not just like offering some dramatically OP weapon at a low, win percent every time, that's not going to be possible. But if there are other ways to encourage players to play rather than actively discouraging them, by telling them if they come and lose, you will get nothing for your time at all, I think that will go a long way to solving it. We can still debate matchmaking. I know matchmaking is tricky with the whole card system and getting that, aligned or being stuck with a team you hate or people dropping out. Like, I know that there are issues there, but I still think matchmaking alone would probably at least double the population instantly, and that alone might be enough to get better cards and better matches. So I still think it's something to consider, a solo queue card or something. Like maybe there's some stipulations to that, but I think that's something worth looking into, as are a lot of these other things I've already talked about. But I had a great time with Trials this weekend, which is a phrase I don't think I've ever said. So if we can replicate that experience, across the mode and make that kind of most weeks, that would be fantastic. I don't know when that will happen. I know that they are planning some sort of larger Trials of Osiris rework at some point that was mentioned in the State of the Game. I'm not sure if that's next season or the season after, but it is something they're working on, so I will be curious to see what they come up with. Hopefully nothing that makes it worse, but we'll see. I would absolutely jump into Trials the next day or two and try and get a hammer. It is a crazy hand cannon. I'm very much enjoying it, and I hope to see more awesome Trials weapons like that in the future. I still really want the sword with chain reaction. I already have my Outlaw Desperado Messenger, so I'm happy with that. I'm with the fusion, with the new fusion perk, because I'm a big fusion guy, so I'm looking forward to that. I don't even have the fusion in my loot pool, so I can't get that from tokens. So anyway, I hope if you've tried Trials, you got what you wanted and had a halfway decent time like I did, but we'll see what happens. Evie, do you want to have a cameo? Are you snoozing? Mm-hmm. Evie. Nope. Okay, she is passed out. But if you want to see more of Evie, subscribe to my newsletter, God Rolls, which will be out in a couple hours after I air this. And that's my new thing that I'm trying to promote. So if you want to sign up for that, it's free. It's like a big rundown of all my articles, and well, not all of them, but a lot of them, and videos and things, and Evie stuff. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys soon.